So I know what you're all thinking. After securing promotion to the Bundesliga with St. Pauli in the last episode, what better way to celebrate the occasion than by accepting an offer to become the manager of the Chinese national team? Wait, what? Yeah, so that actually happened. I've decided to accept an offer from China for me to take over as their manager of the national team. And the word impulse sort of springs to mind here. Now, of course, throughout this series, I've been asking you guys in the first 14 episodes, what nation should we manage together with St. Pauli? And as I said, I wasn't really sure whether we'd manage a nation at all, whether I'd manage any country whatsoever, but I did say if one came in and interested me, I would take it. And then I looked at the league table for China in their Asia qualifiers and thought, well, maybe I shouldn't have taken it. They lost their first 4 games in the group, which is kind of weird too, because all 3 positions seem to indicate that they'll all qualify for the World Cup. But regardless, I decided to take the offer because I kind of want to do things a little bit crazy in this series. I said before that this is going to be a series which is different to a lot of my other career modes, but also it's a bit of a throwback as well to my FIFA 13 career modes, where in one of those I managed South Korea. And when China came in and they offered me the job in the last episode, I looked at it, I thought to myself, if we do want to go for a throwback, why not manage another Asian country? And I've taken the job, and whether I live to regret it, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that actually happened. I have started managing China, and for those expecting a Donald Trump impression of me saying the word China on a regular basis, let's just say that might happen. But still, the first game of today's episode, the first of the final 4 of the season, was away against Karlsruhe FC. And coming into this game, we had a good chance to extend our gap at the top of the table to 6 points, as we had a game in hand on Stuttgart, and we're currently 3 points clear of them. So a big chance here after wrapping up promotion at the Milan Tour against Dresden in the last game to extend that gap between first and second and show Stuttgart we are not going to let go of this title. But the game finished 0-0, and it was a really weird 0-0 as well, because not really much happened in the game whatsoever. And of course, this game featured the 2 leading scorers in the division: Karlsruhe striker, the Greek lad whose name I won't be able to pronounce, and also Buhad, who's of course our top scorer. But neither striker was able to score in the entire game. It was one of the worst games of the season, and it finished as a goalless draw. So another clean sheet, delighted with that. However, another game where we failed to score, and we've had a few too many of those this season, and a big chance to go 6 points clear at the top of the table dropped as well, which I was not happy about. But anyway, we also found out that our youth scout came back from his first month's mission. Sadly, picked up no good players whatsoever though, so we'll keep an eye on some of them, but no real standouts so far. And also, Rodolfo Hera has now hit 16 in the academy as well. He's 16 years old, able to be promoted. He won't get given a pro deal in this episode or in this season, but in the next season he will be given a pro deal, and I'm very excited to see what the Argentine ends up looking like. He looks already a really decent player, and when he comes out of the academy, we'll check his potential as well. I'm super excited for this young man.
They have had some tremendous performances at home. In fact, Alan, it's the best home record in the league.
Well, after 12 wins in 15 games, superb.
However, we can only focus on what's going on this season, and as we close out the season with the penultimate home game of the year, we would take on the side Bielefeld, the team who we currently beat 4-0. The team we beat 4-0 away from home in our joint biggest win of the season so far, and that was the first of the 3 4-0 victories we've had this season over opposition teams. So fancying our chances in this game, but Stuttgart did increase the pressure on us at the top of the table by winning their game before this one, closing the gap to just 1 point, which meant coming into this match we had to get the win and extend the gap to 4 points, meaning that in the penultimate game of the season, if we would win, we would be crowned champions with a game to spare, regardless of what Stuttgart do in their penultimate game of the season. The first half, however, was just like the Karlsruhe first half, not too many chances whatsoever, still 0-0. And in the second half, 11 minutes after the restart, another opportunity fell there to Matthias de Ligt, but our Dutch centre half headed the ball wide, and it was still 0-0. It was another one of those games though where I seem to have cold feet as we close out the season. We're beginning to feel the pressure, start getting nervous a little bit with Stuttgart breathing down our necks. But with 17 minutes to go, we would find a winning goal we were looking for, and it came through the guy that had the header just 11 minutes after the restart. Matthias de Ligt, your signing, the centre-back, the first ever signing for St. Pauli under our regime, heading in the corner, and there was so much power on that header. He came to meet it, and he did. The goalkeeper got a touch, but couldn't keep it out, and the game finished St. Pauli 1, Bielefeld 0. So de Ligt scoring his first goal for the Buccaneers. He was your signing, and he scored a crucial goal that sent us 4 points clear at the top of the table with 2 games to go. So once again, another game where we didn't really play that well, but de Ligt had an absolute stormer for us, shutting the door on Bielefeld and scoring the winning goal as well. Delighted with that, but it does go to show that as we end this season, it's not been plain sailing. We had a fantastic month of March. The start of April wasn't too bad either, but we've had a few hiccups along the way in the second half of the season, and particularly in January and February. But what's been really strange to me is that we've been keeping clean sheets pretty easily, yet the goals have dried up big time. And we're an attack-minded team. We're a team who always want to score more goals regardless of the scoreline. Yet, we always felt as though that would mean we're quite vulnerable on defense. Well, not right now. Justin Byler's keeping so many clean sheets, he may as well open a laundromat. And it's like, for us going forward, you know, we've got 6 attack-minded players in the team. You know, 2 sets of wingers and obviously the striker, and then 1 CM always goes forward as well. But we're not scoring that many goals at the moment. You know, it's very, very frustrating, but it does highlight, in my opinion, that the problem with EA's game, and that is that it's way too defense-orientated, at least offline, because, you know, we are going to end up with the best record defensively this season, which is just pathetic, really, when you think about how attack-minded we play game after game. But anyway, for the 3rd game of today's episode here, and the penultimate one of the season, we will take on Heidenheim in our final away game. We're coming into the match being 4 points clear of Stuttgart. It will mean that a win in this game would wrap up the title with a game to spare. And we started off strong. Buhadou's denied by a great save by the goalkeeper from point blank range. But in the 28th minute, we would open the scoring, and it wasn't for our top scorer. It was through arguably a player who's been just as important as our Moroccan, Moses the Engine Odja. Fake shot him round his man, storming into the box, and our number 7 got goal number 6 of the season. You think about Buhadou's goals this year, we know he's our player of the year. There's no doubt about it, but you can't forget how good this guy's been. Moses has just been fantastic. A lovely solo goal there. That made it 1-0. And just before the break, in stoppage time in the first half, the Moroccan Aziz Buhadous would get his goal that he was searching for, as we made it Heidenheim 0, St. Pauli 2. Nice little free ball by Billing after great work by Kai, and the Moroccan did the rest. Scored his 22nd goal of the Zweite Bundesliga. Yes, of course, Moses is the engine. He's driven us forward, but this guy is the finisher. He has been absolutely fantastic this year. He's just been amazing. So 2-0 to St. Pauli. It could have become 3-0 in the 68th minute. Miyachi, though, was denied by a good save by the goalkeeper, but it was how the game finished, and in the end it was kind of fitting that the only 2 players that got the goals were our 2 most important players of the entire campaign, Moses the Engine Odja and Aziz Buhadous, as we win the game by 2-0 and get the job done with a game to spare. The writing was on the wall for quite a while in terms of promotion, but the title, however, I was wondering whether we would choke it away, especially after a very poor beginning to the calendar year. But our form in March and April was fantastic. We've been a different team since the end of February, and this was a really, really good 2-0 win. A solid, comfortable win for us. And again, Moses and Buhadou scoring together. I thought that was so fitting. I really, really did. So that's it then. We've been crowned champions. Stuttgart may have won their game, but due to our win, it means that there's 4 points to gap between first and second going into the final day of the Zweite Bundesliga. So not only have we been promoted, we've wrapped up the title as well. And I'm just delighted about that, because I did say at the start of the season that we were surely going to be gunning for promotion, no doubt about it. This is a good St. Pauli team. I knew with the changes we were making to the team together, it was going to get even stronger. There was always so much confidence in my mind we would finish either first, second or third, but to win the title and do it with a game to spare as well, that in my opinion is a really great achievement, especially because don't forget at the start of the season our very first game was a defeat away against Stuttgart at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. And even way back then, I did say these two would be title rivals. Well, that's exactly what happened, and I'm so glad we held our nerve and held on to the title. So going into the final day of the season here, it was party time at the Millantor, though not the best atmosphere to throw a party, as we will take on Würzburg Kickers here at the Millantor. I rested a couple of players, but one guy that had to start scored in the last game, and he'd score in this game as well. 7 minutes before the break, he summed up exactly what he's been brought to this team to do and what he's done all season long. Moses Odja with an absolutely extraordinary solo goal and probably the best goal of the season coming on the final day. He robbed the man inside our own half and stormed the whole way of the Würzburg half, went into the area after the step over, and it was a brilliant finish by the engine into the back of the net as we made it St. Pauli 1, Würzburger Kickers 0, and we had the lead just before the break. So of course the game meant nothing, however we were aiming to hold on and preserve our fantastic home record all season long, the best home record, the only team in the league that haven't lost in front of their home fans. We wanted to preserve that, and as we made it 1-0 here, we could have made it 2-0 as well. Buhadou's off the bench for a man, could have got his 23rd goal of the season. Moses playing him through, but sadly the goalkeeper made the save and prevented those two from linking up for both of our goals in back-to-back games. But in the end, it was how the game would finish. Final score, St. Pauli 1, Würzburger Kickers 0, as went for the audacious acrobatic effort there with Sobiech, our captain, and we did indeed win the game by 1-0. So once again, not exactly the best game for goals, and that is our way with St. Pauli. So next season, we'll need to improve on that. Despite being the best team for goals scored this season, we'll still need to score more goals if we're to do something special in the Bundesliga. But the title was wrapped up in the last game, and in this game, we will get to experience the celebrations. But the funny thing was, as I was watching these celebrations, I was thinking to myself, lads, you're celebrating like we needed to win this game to win the title, and we did it in the final minute. We won the title away against Heidenheim, and it was celebrated like we'd literally just done it. I was like, calm it down, lads, seriously. Did you not look at the league table after the last game? We'd already won, seriously. But it was just funny how, like, you know, action-packed the celebrations were. Like, some of the players, like, putting their hands over their mouths like a FIFA YouTuber's thumbnail, and, you know, just shouting and screaming. I was like, lads, it was done a week ago, calm down. But anyway, we got the win, we got the title, and I'm absolutely delighted that Sobiech, our captain, and Moses the Engine Odja would lift it together with Buhadou's there as well, and Billing, so many important players right next to the skipper, as we indeed claim the silverware. And I'm just delighted about it as well, because as I alluded to it a minute ago there, when we started this project with St. Pauli together, I said in the first season, if we're not getting promoted, we failed. Simple as that. We have to finish first, second, or third, and I'm confident it's going to happen. We're not going to walk this Zweite Bundesliga, and we didn't. Stuttgart pushed us pretty much every single step of the way, but I knew for a fact this team was good enough to get promoted, no doubt about it. It's a really strong team. We made some awesome signings together. Your signing De Ligt was fantastic. Moses the Engine, of course, ran his socks off all season long, was fantastic, and obviously role players too, like Billing and Byler, who became our #1, and you know, players like Mane coming in too. You know, really, really good signings. We had to get promoted, but to do it with the trophy as well is really, really great, because if you're watching my club and country save right now with St. Johnston, first of all, thank you very much, but you will know how much we struggled in that road to glory. We're still yet to win a competitive piece of silverware, and we're into our 5th season now. But with St. Pauli, we've already won the trophy in the first season in this road to glory, and that makes me feel really confident going forward as well. So I'm absolutely delighted that the season was won. I should say that the title was won in our debut season, and what a season it was for so many players, and of course for the team in general, topping the league. And you'll see the final finish here, we won it by 7 points even. Stuttgart actually lost the final game of the season, which was crazy at home, but we won it by 7 points. We had the best goal difference with 37, plus 37, that's fantastic, and also we scored the most amount of goals. I said every single season that's a target as well, don't forget that. We need to be the league's highest scorers. We scored 56 goals in 34 games, not a bad return at all, even though the goals did dry up a little bit towards the end of the season, and only conceded 19 goals as well. That was the real shock to me, only conceding 19 goals, that was crazy. But anyway, as you take a look at the player of the year and whatnot here, you can see that Justin Byler was named goalkeeper of the year, despite only taking over as #1 halfway through the year. Buhadou's did indeed win the golden boot. We had 7 representatives in the team of the competition as well, and also the player of the competition didn't go to either Buhadou's Rose or Bilo instead. In fact, it wasn't worn by any St. Pauli player, which kind of surprised me since we were the best team in the division. In fact, it went to the second highest scorer, which surprised me even more, because surely you'd think that Buhaduz was a far more important player, especially because Diamantakos, is that how you pronounce that? The Karlsruhe player who won the player of the tournament and was second in the Golden Boot race, didn't really do anything special with his team. They finished mid-table, so I don't really know how he won Player of the Year and not one of our boys. But regardless, that was how the league table finished. You can see the Bundesliga table as well. Bayern won that. Not a real surprise, but I'm very excited to take them on next season in the league after facing them in the Cup this year for the first time. The Deutsche Pokal, speaking of that, was won by Borussia Dortmund. They beat Leipzig in the final. And also 1860 Munich, who finished third in the table, won the relegation playoff against Darmstadt, which means that they are going to join us in Stuttgart in the Bundesliga next season. Now, I did say I didn't want those guys to go up with us because we had so much trouble against them this season, but both of the games were action-packed, 3-3 at the Allianz and 3-2 at the Millantor. Let's just say this, 1860 Munich, that's not the side from the Allianz Arena that we'll be battling with for titles, I'm sure, as the years go by. However, I'm pretty confident every single time we face those guys, the games are going to feature goals galore, and in a way, I'm kind of glad they did go up, because even though we'll struggle against them next season like we did this year, I'm sure it will still be very fun to play them, because they are going to be a team who will always look to score as many goals against us and vice versa after what happened this season. But to end the episode, as you can see, we take a look at our scouts, youth players he's picked up. We signed 2 to our academy, one of which is a 5'9" centre-back who looks like he could be pretty decent. He's 59 overall. You'll see in a moment's time, I give him some training and we take a look at him in the squad report as well once he hits 60 so we can check out his potential. But he's only 5'9". Now, I'm looking for physically strong players, and don't get me wrong, he looks like he could be pretty quick and pretty nimble as well, but 5'9" centre-back? What's the point? So that's kind of frustrating. But also, look at the squad report here as well, the final squad report of the season. Get your fix. I know you guys love the squad reports. Take a look at how the players currently getting on. You see the stats and the attributes as well of all these players. And Moses Odja, what a season. 7 goals and 8 assists in 33 games for the Engine. He was absolutely fantastic. You saw Billing there as well. He had 4 goals and 4 assists. He was really good too. Certain players like Sabota really impressed me this year as well, despite decreasing in stats, so don't want to get rid of him. And of course, our best player of the year, no doubt about it in my eyes, Aziz Buhaduz, 22 goals in 32 games. I am just so excited to see what he can do in the Bundesliga. Can he make the step up? That's the question. Can he keep his place despite David Villa coming in next season as well? I'm excited and I'm confident, let's just say that. He fired us to glory this season, and he was absolutely fantastic. But you see the squad report regardless, the attributes and the stats of the players as well. Obviously, as we're about to begin the Bundesliga season, our first year in the top flight, I'm thinking about where we want to take this team forward, what positions we want to look for new players to strengthen in the new season. And you know, you wouldn't say no to a new striker despite David Villa coming in, because Buhaduz this season was our only regular source of goals. He's the only player that got into double figures in the Zweite Bundesliga this season. Next highest goal scorers were Sabota and Odja with 7 goals each. We brought in a Mang in January, only scored 1 goal, so a little disappointed with our return of other frontmen. However, I do believe that looking to sign a new winger or a wide midfielder would probably be preferable. Of course, playing with 2 sets of wide midfielders and 4 wingers / wide midfielders on the pitch at all times, I think we'll need to sign a new winger or wide midfielder. And as I said at the start of the series, every single season you guys will be making at least 1 signing every single season for us, and I want you guys to make the first signing we make in the Bundesliga. I theorise our budget is going to be around £5 to £9 million, somewhere between that range I would say. So I've got 10 players here for you that I want you guys to make a decision on which player we decide to sign. Now, there are 2 fullbacks who can also play as wingers as well, because some of you guys have been saying, why don't you get wing backs or attack-minded fullbacks that can also play in the wide midfield position. And there are a few wide midfielders too, 4 wide midfielders, and also 4 wingers as well. So some variety for you here as well. Quite a few players. They're all on the shortlist right now. I'm showing you the stats, I'm showing you their attributes, their weak foot, their skill moves and whatnot as well. I want you guys to decide which one of these 10 signings we sign as our first signing in the Bundesliga in the very next episode. So what I'm going to do for you guys, as per normal, is create a straw poll. I'll leave a link to it in the description, and next to the words vote here, that link is clickable for you guys to click on. Cast your vote like you would any other season for signing a player or for choosing a team for us to manage next in our next career mode. It's your choice. There are 10 players here, all of which could really benefit the team in different ways. There's a lot of variety there as well in terms of their actual position, their weak foot, their skill moves, their work rates as well, and so on and so forth. The straw poll is on the screen for you right now. Click on the link in the description next to the words vote here. You'll be taken to this page. I want you guys to cast a vote, and whichever player has the most amount of votes, that's the first signing we'll make in the Bundesliga. So again, you guys are not only my head of youth development, you're also chairing our transfer committee from time to time. And once again, just like with the Lit last season, I need you guys to make our first signing of the new season. So click on the link in the description next to the words vote here and cast your vote for the first player we sign in the Bundesliga with St. Pauli. But that will end the season finale of our Road to Glory career mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for all the fantastic support throughout the first season at the Milan Tour. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying this project. I'm having so much fun. We end on a really positive note. We've won Manager Year together as well. That award is as much yours as it is mine. And as we head into the Bundesliga, I'm super excited to see what we can do with St. Pauli. You'll be choosing our first signing as well, so don't forget to vote, and what will be given in terms of a budget at the Milan Tour as well. So much love to you all. Thanks for all supporting the first season. If you enjoyed this episode, then please do leave a like, and I'll see you for the start of Season 2 with St. Pauli in our Road to Glory career mode tomorrow morning. See you then.